Mild spoilers are present in this episode.
Third World Cinema Club.
Happy New Year, guys. It's 2021. This is Third World Cinema Club. I'm John Tawasil from Present Confusion.
Hi, I'm Princess Kinok of Film Police Reviews.
Hi, I'm Jim of Jimmy Licolati Papa.
Hello, I'm DJ Ramones. I'm a rare Pokemon.
Ayan. So, DJ returns to the program. We're gonna make this is a short episode about some of our favorite movies of the year. Most of us are part of the Society of Filipino Film Reviewers, so a lot of our choices will reflect din yung nominations for that. And will probably also reflect yung chinus namin for that kasi there's little variability. And if you're one of the like 30 people who read my blog, you'll figure out um ano yung mga choices ko. Although I switched it up a little, or did I? Kaming tatlo, myself, Princess, and Jim, we picked our top 3 films for full-length films for this year and one short film for this year. And then we're gonna talk about them. May ranking. We rank them from first to third place. And then third place gets 1 point, second place gets 2 points, first place gets 3 points. The movie with the most points is, the top film, and so on. So, okay. So here are the top 3 films of here, not really top 3, more like 3 favorite films of 2020. And actually, at third place with both with 2 points is a tie between 2 films, and that's The Boy Foretold by the Stars and Lingua Franca. So Lingua Franca by Isabel Sandoval, who directed Apparition, is a film set in the U.S. about a trans woman who is also an illegal immigrant who's trying to survive, and she falls in love with this guy, who is the son of the person she's taking care of. The one who voted for this is Princess. This is her second place vote. So, Princess, could you talk a bit about why you chose Lingua Franca as your second favorite film?
Yay! Actually, I've been championing this film since last year kasi
Mhm.
ako lang, konti lang ata kami nakanood nito nung sa Q Cinema, nung premiere siya sa Q Cinema. Kasi I think it had its US premiere din. So, coincidentally, na nag-premiere siya last year for Q Cinemas, one of Q Cinemas international film features. So, it's a good thing. Pinalabas siya ngayon dito sa Pilipinas kasi it's actually the time that um it was premiered here online. I think nagkaroon ng protests in the US with regards to immigrants tsaka sa gay rights. So I was supposed to write a review about it then. Um, so yun. So it's a very timely film kasi kung noong 90s may nauso yung mail to order brides.
Aha.
Lingua franca speaks for, by the title itself, universal, kumbaga translation siya ng universal language.
Aha.
Um, na love, it could be love, could be the universal language, or in whichever translation or interpretation you may have. um, it's rare to find a filmmaker and an actress all in one to portray, to objectively portray her role as an actor and as a filmmaker. Si ano kasi very intimate nga. I mean, I've read this review na parang very intimate si Lingua Franca in the way that it's told, na there's a lot of unspoken scenes, tapos konti lang yung characters niya, which leads you to empathize more with Isabel, and dun sa male lead niya, kahit na medyo
Mhm.
off yung or awful yung the way that he was written kasi ayun. Tsaka, we always try to empathize with LGBT or with the transgender community, pero we don't really know what they feel or how they how they live their lives. So, yung lingua franca na film, meron siyang dalawang or tatlong conflicts na pinapresent. The first is yung pagiging immigrant niya. The
Mhm.
second is being a transgender living in a society that still does not accept it. Tapos yung third is yung yun yung pagpunta niya ng US as an immigrant, um na parang she doesn't really live her life for herself eh. Parang she's also living her life for her family, na parang kaya kailangan niya maging immigrant para matulungan niya yung pamilya niya.
Yeah.
So yun. So very well written, very powerful in its simplest ways.
Yun. Add ko lang siguro. Yeah, the title Lingua Franca to me parang speaks to yung binanggit mo na parang intersectionality nung concerns nung main
Mhm.
character. So yung si Olivia, who uh, played by Isabel Sandoval, is yeah, she's a trans woman, she's an illegal immigrant in Trump era America. So ito yung very aggressive sila in deporting people.
Immigrants, yes.
Yeah. So not only is this an LGBT story, it's also an OFW story. So
Mm-mm.
parang cross of the two. And mararamdaman mo na parang this character is always in, kumbaga, quote unquote survival mode. Yun sana yung ilalagay ko sa review ko sa kanya kasi hindi ko
Mm-mm.
natapos. This is a person who's trying to survive. And for her, parang like things like love are secondary to just living,
Mm-mm.
for the sake, and to survive is to not get caught,
Yes.
basically. Kasi you can feel yung fear talaga, yung fear of being deported eh. If you're deported, you can no longer provide for your family, and then your family parang kumbaga figuratively dies along with you. Kumbaga. Yun.
I agree with that term. Yan ang naisip ko, especially dun sa third act. If you remember yung third act na she was
Ah,
checking her shelves, yung shelves ng closet niya.
ah,
No, parang all throughout she's trying to survive as an LGBT or as a trans woman, as an immigrant, and now as, the girlfriend of this guy na you're really not sure na if he's really capable of things. So
yun.
it's a really powerful film.
Jim, do you have any thoughts on Lingua Franca?
Oo. Maikli lang naman kasi napanood ko siya napanood ko siya noon sa Q Cinema 2019, and fortunately na isa ko doon sa nakapanood. And nagandahan din ako with Lingua Franca. Although ang ano ko lang with the film ay slow paced siya. Nagigets ko naman yung style or yung treatment na ganon nung filmmaker, because pag nasa ibang bansa ka kasi nandun yung nararamdaman mo yung homesickness, 'di ba? So aside from the homesickness na naramdaman nung character, and I agree dun sa sinabi niyong dalawa na yung I believe struggle or conflict niya within herself nung character ni Isabel Sandoval ay LGBT, member siya ng LGBT, no? Because she's a transgender woman, and aside from that, illegal immigrant pa siya. So talagang mabigat yung dinadala ng character niya. And yun naman ang maganda with Isabel Sandoval as a filmmaker, kasi maayos niya yung naipakita dun sa film.
So, let's move to yung katay nitong Lingua Franca for third place sa ating munting ranking. It's Dolly Dulu's The Boy Foretold by the Stars, featured in this recent MMFF. Since Jim, ikaw yung bumoto for this film, would you talk to us a bit about The Boy Foretold by the Stars?
Nice. Originally, The Boy Foretold by the Stars slated in Cine Filipino. However, di ba nga, dahil nagkaroon ng pandemic, so at first parang wala ka ng clue na saan na ba pupunta yung The Boy Foretold by the Stars. And then suddenly December, MMFF, ayan na, and we're surprised kasama siya ang The Boy Foretold by the Stars. So it's about two boys, anin ko na lang muna na boys, si Dominic and Luke, no, na nagkakilala during a spiritual journey they called, I forgot, spiritual journey, yun nga, 'di ba? And then suddenly nung nagkasama sila dun sa event na yon na may nag-grow na feelings towards each other, and then towards the film, doon na natin makikita yung development ng feelings nila with each other, and paano nila na-overcome ah, kung ano man yung nararamdaman nila with each other, and at the same time kung paano yung tingin ng society sa kanila. Ayun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yun. So, with The Boy Foretold by the Stars, kaya ako siya nagustuhan kasi alam naman natin na 2020 ang daming lumabas sa BL series. No? So, with this The Boy Foretold by the Stars, siya naman yung breath of fresh air. Yan. Kasi 'di ba usually kapag napapanood natin ng mga BL, either adults na or mga patwitams, ganyan. Although we love Game Boys. Ibang level naman si Game Boys. Sorry, nabanggit natin si Game Boys. But with The Boy Foretold by the Stars, nga as nabanggit ko na, it's a breath of fresh air. Kasi alam mo na totoo na ito na mga high schoolish, no? And then bagay sa kanila yung mga roles nila ni Adrian Lendayag, even ni Kian Johnson, no? And at the same time, I believe na it's a gamble or a risk na isali siya with MMFF kasi usually yung ganitong theme ng pelikula, hindi siya, alam mo na pag MMFF, hindi siya ganun ka-acceptable. Although we know na yung mga Vice Ganda films, no, yun ang ina-accept ng masa. Kasi yun ang iba nga lang yung depiction ng LGBT doon, medyo degrading. Pero with The Boy Foretold by the Stars, ang maganda dito ay nakita natin na yung character ni Adrian Lindayag ay siya tawag dito, nandun yung search niya, not only alam niya kung ano yung identity niya. However, nandun pa rin yung nagsisearch spiritually. And at the same time, yung character din ni Kian Johnson, kahit kagagaling niya lang sa pagka broken heart, no, hindi naging hindrance yun siya naman to explore kung ano man yung identity niya. Ganon. And ang maganda dito with The Boy Foretold by the Stars, yung tawag dito. Kasi usually with the teen films, no, like or the coming of age films, no, like Billy and Emma, makikita natin na mayroon pa ring yung ang Catholic nandito pa rin dito pa rin yung major na religion dito sa Philippines. Pero dito in The Boy Foretold by the Stars, hindi pinakita yung discrimination, 'di ba, within the religion. Dito mas naging siya progressive doon sa film. Yun yung maganda doon, and magaling yung screenplay, magaling din yung execution ng direction ni Dolly Dulu sa cinematography, excellent, even the technical aspects, lalo na yung music. Ayun.
Agree naman ako, Jem. It's yung pinakagusto kong sinulat dito is I think yung CNN CNN either CNN or si Ogs, parang may sinulat na something about yun nga, yung pag-frame ng movie na choosing love based on faith and then choosing love based on choosing by yourself, kumbaga. Parang, which really is really encapsulated sa very final scene, yung scene with all the lanterns. I won't spoil it, pero yun, basta parang yung pinipili mo, kumbaga, yung minamahal mo sa buhay. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Cecica, any thoughts about Boy Foretold? Have you seen this movie?
Yes, napanood ko naman siya. Although very challenging yung first two tries to watch it kasi ang hina ng signal ko nun for upstream. But anyways, ayun, I like the cinematography. I'm not sure if ko na-mention yun na, pero ayun nga, one of the things that I noticed about it technically is yung colors ng buong film itself. It's very coming of age na very light, very pastel-ish yung colors niya na more midnight blue, ganun, no? Yung kulay. So which I think helped in terms of giving the atmosphere towards the boys na parang they're at that stage of their lives na they're still trying to figure themselves out, but at the same time uh they're also trying to go through that journey together of finding out, if they're fit for each other in this world na very na very very, what's the right term, parang judgmental, or very parang, since yun nga nasa Catholic school sila, parang hindi iniisip kasi ng mga tao, it's not something na pina-practice heavily dun sa religion na fina-follow nila. So yun. So very very well written. I agree na maganda yung script niya. Um Nung una hindi ko siya masyado nagustuhan, pero I guess towards the third time na napanood ko siya, I kind of understood why everybody liked it. And at the same time, ang galing ng performance din ni Adrian Lindayag, no? Very commending as a, I'm not sure if it's his first film. Is it his first? I'm not sure if it's his
May
first film,
theater
pero
background si
ayun, very, okay. So, which is also evident, in the way that, in the mannerisms ng acting niya. So, ayun,
Yes.
very good performances from both the actors, the script, production design, and cinematography, and even the lights from this filmmaker. So, yun. Good job. Good
Okay.
job. Yun.
So, yon. DJ, do you have any questions about these two films that we've been talking about so far?
For ano lang, for Lingua Franca, I haven't seen either films. I think
Mhm.
most of the films or all of the films we'll talk about in this episode, hindi ko naman napanood. Pero I've heard, kasi yung Lingua Franca medyo na-anticipate siya na film, di ba? Kasi
Yeah.
American film siya technically, pero very Filipino. And yun nga, punong-puno siya ng issues. Pero I've heard na, di ba nung paglabas niya, may nasagap-sagap ako na certain critics medyo ayaw sa kanya. So, parang
Oh.
ano yung criticisms na yun? Kung tama ba na may
Oh,
major
okay.
criticism? And parang, how do you address those criticisms?
Yeah. May
Wait
nabasa ba
lang.
kayo? Ako, I've seen, wala naman ako nakitang like long pieces about it, pero I know of some people na hate
Um,
the film. Ikaw ba, Ses? Have you read anything na negative?
yeah. In terms of the film, I read, may nabasa akong review na parang, yun yung medyo nag-stand out sa akin kasi iba siya. It wasn't that the writer or the reviewer liked the film or hated the film. Hindi lang niya siguro naintindihan where the film was going to. Kasi nga, this was before the protests against, Trump being against LGBT rights,
Mhm.
tapos immigrant rights. So yun. So I think after, mas naging meaningful yung film after nung mga na yun, protests.
Okay. Ayun, DJ.
Siri, did I answer your question?
Did I answer your
Okay.
question?
Siri.
Oo naman. So, it's not really about the film, no? Tapos,
Mm-mm.
Probably more
sorry.
the
Rumor
people
mongering
around.
lang pala ako.
Hindi, okay lang.
Okay lang, okay
Pero
lang.
yun nga, I haven't seen Apparition. I'm not sure if I've seen Apparition.
I've seen Apparition. It's okay. It's one of the better films dun sa batch na yun.
Sabi nila it
Ah.
was a big jump somehow from Apparition.
Actually, oo. Oo.
Yun yung isa kong nabasa rin na
It feels
review sa
very
Malocal.
different, although parang yung directorial touches ni Isabel Sandoval are felt in both din naman.
Mm-mm.
So, yun. Apparition is a very about martial law parang the ironies of yung very faithful ka pero you're cloistered in this parang lugar and then maraming masasamang bagay ang nangyayari sa paligid mo. What happens if something, that external bad thing parang invades in your isolated space?
Mm-mm.
Anyway,
Okay.
let's go to
Thank
the
you for that
second.
lovely question.
Thank you. So the next film, one of you voted it first place and one of you voted for it third place. So this film is Dodo Dayao's Midnight in a Perfect World. We'll be talking about this film in a future episode kasi it's re-premiering on Upstream. So, I guess, sino sa inyo ni Jim says ang gustong just a few short thoughts about the ano. Ako hindi na ako magsasalita kasi I've said my piece about I like this film a lot din.
Nasabi ko na rin yung yung thoughts ko nito
Ay,
nung
sa'yo.
Q-Cinema eh. Oo.
Ses,
Go
ikaw.
Princess. Ikaw.
Go. Your thoughts about Midnight in a Perfect World. Without spoiling
I
the
also
film
like
kasi I
this
think
film. Kasi I read one of Dodo Dayo's interviews and I agree. It feels like a dream. Yun lang. Yun lang.
So yan, there are a lot of it really draws from a lot of influences, I think. And yan.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Yeah.
Excited na ako. Abangan ka to
Tsaka
next
it's
week, no?
very
Yeah.
what I guess our listeners, what you guys would anticipate from this film is that it's really not your ordinary film. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very siya.
Personally,
Kaya ako siya binoto in the first place
Yeah.
kasi seamless lahat.
I think it's more thematically
Yes,
like
agree.
consistent compared to Violator.
To
Pero ako lang
Violator,
yun.
yes.
Yes,
Kasi
I
yun
like
nga,
it than Violator.
Mas consistent yung pagkatali.
if Violator was like very dark, it's darker but darker in different aspects. Not
Why
cinematography wise.
Yes.
why Violator? Bakit Violator yung point of comparison?
Kasi yun yung first film ni Dodo.
First film ni Dodo. Yes.
Violator yung
And-
naging submission natin, di ba?
Ay, hindi. Iba yun. Ano siya?
Verdict.
Ano ba yung kay Max? Verdict.
Verdict,
Verdict.
yes.
Letter B. Okay.
Si Violator, for our listeners din, yun yung first film ni Dodo Dayo noong 2014 about
Cinema One
The-
Originals yun.
yeah,
Joel
Cinema
Lamangan
Original.
plays a cop who
plays a cop
who
who sees
ghosts. And then he
Ghosts.
fights the devil.
Yeah.
The end.
Yes.
Actually.
Yun. You will not feel violated, but it's
Yes.
Violator.
Natawa ko to.
So yun, before we go on to our best feature length film, let's talk about yung nanalong almost unanimous na, well, 2 out of 3 is almost unanimous anyway. Best favorite short film natin of 2020. Special shoutout sa Tokwifi, pero 2019 film kasi yun, so hindi namin sinama sa consideration namin. So this
Yes.
film is called Ghoulies.
Coolies.
Yeah.
Totoo, lahat tayong tatlo na binoto natin si Chris. Totoo.
Yeah.
Ang cute.
Yeah.
So
Galing naman.
if you've listened to our Cinemalaya episode, you've probably heard about us talking about this film. It's a very sweet film.
Yes.
Ang cute naman. Teka lang ang cute nating tatlo Di ba, isa
Ako-
lang ang papipilian natin. Gulis
Yeah.
talaga yung ang cute.
Well, personally, it's either this or it's either this or Grand Gestures, one of the two films.
Ako it's either this or Living Things.
Ako naman,
okay.
Ghoulies or Pabasakan Pasyon. Pero pangatlo ko ay Grand Gestures, which I also submitted in Ay, nabanggit ko pa kay Ed. Nabanggit ko.
Wow.
Sinapen ko with at SFFR.
Ayan. So anyway, is this Benji Cabarubia's last film?
Yes.
Ito, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess hindi na lang natin i-count yung Suarez the Healing Pre.
Andun din ba siya?
Ay,
Ano pala siya?
Hindi ba nandun siya? Ewan ko.
Hindi ko napanood. So,
I remember, kung hindi si Menji yun, some old guy. Kasi very star-studded. To be fair, very star-studded ang Suarez. Pero anyway, yun. It's about a son who's facing a difficult talk with his parent. It's a revelation that goes beyond din yung kanyang it also parang talks din about yung kanyang yung sexual identity niya, etc. And it's very sweet. It's very short, it's very sweet. And that's what short films are for, di ba? Yun. Your thoughts guys on Ghoulies? Jim, ikaw
Ikaw muna, Jim.
Jim.
Kita mo agad yung with Gulis, kita mo agad yung influence from Carlo Catu. Kasi diba si Carlo Catu pag gumawa siya ng film, simple. And itong
Mhm.
Gulis, it's also simple. Pero for me, it's also kahit simple ang pagkakagawa niya, ang bigat nung impact ng film. Kasi, syempre ako, you know naman na gay din ako. No? So, watching it watching yung acting both nina Jal Galang pala, Jal Galang and late Mengi Covarrubias. Talagang it's very emotional no na parang sana may ganitong tatay na parang kahit na ang hirap mag-come out and then once you reveal na ayan nga meron kang disease ganyan, um he will still be very supportive and magpa-promise siya sa'yo na tulungan ka niya, gano'n. And what I like about the film 'no, because nabanggit ko na rin naman yung simplicity 'no, I like yung composition niya, yung framing, yung mga shots, gano'n. Alam mo na aral, na-rehearse yung blockings, gano'n. And yung mga talaga, yung mga shots niya, kita mo agad yung galaw ng camera. So, for me, ang Woolies, seamless din siya. Yun yung right term for the short film na yun na kahit short film siya, ang lakas ng impact ng film.
Ayun. So, out of all the short films that we were able to see this 2020 virtually, and Guli stood out simply because yun nga, short films have to be short and sweet, and this one went above and beyond than just being sweet. It's something that you're gonna remember for the rest of your life. Yes, kasi it touches a very sensitive subject in a way that's not condescending, in
Yeah.
a way that's very honest and sincere. And also in a way that wants you to feel na you hope that there's if people see this, it's there's gonna be it has that impact na it's gonna do something good for the future. If people were as open-minded as Menji Covarrubias's role, then maybe we could live in a very ano in a very good place, in a very good world. So yun.
Okay. So yun. And then one last thing before we go to the our favorite film of 2020, best performance. Dito sa best performance, 2 versus 1. So yun munang runner-up. The runner-up is Bella Padilla from On Vodkas, Beers and Regrets, and Jim voted for her. Jim, could you tell us a bit about Bella Padilla's performance in that film?
Bella Padilla plays an alcoholic woman. No? Fade, ano ba tawag dito? Pangit naman kasi ng term na laos. Ano ba? Paano ba natin na ano yung
On the
term na
rocks,
yun?
gana.
O kasi yung pangit ng term, di ba? Kasi na siya, struggling. Ayun. That's struggling actress siya na dealing with alcoholism. So what I like about the performance ay alam mo na yung performance ni Bella Padilla ay sincere, honest, and at the same time, alam mong dedicated siya dun sa portrayal of an alcoholic woman, no? And based nga 'di ba with Direct Irene Villamore's kunento sa atin before na yung On Vodkas, Beers and Regrets kasi ay na-inspire siyang gawin because of the film When a Man Loves a Woman. Ganun. Kaya ako siya binoto kasi usually kasi ng mga early films, let's say mga January to May, na-overlook yung film and even the performance. Kaya siya yung parang nung 2020 pa lang, pre-pandemic, napansin ko na yung parang yun na agad yung nasa thinking ko, dapat to si Bella Padilla ma-nominate siya ng Best Actress kasi magaling naman talaga siya in the film. Talagang siya yung nagdadala ng film and magaling din na supporting si JC Santos. But talagang mararamdaman mo na ang nagli-lead talaga, ang nagdadala si Bella Padilla. Ayun.
And the winner of this, kumbaga, our very small poll, Princess and I voted for Charlie Dixon in Fangirl. No? So, ako short thoughts lang, parang of all the performance, there are a lot of nice performances this year. Pero there's only one performance for me that defined her movie. Parang Charlie Dixon is that fangirl. She's Jane. She's ano para ang galing. And if you saw her then in Four Weddings Before, Four Sisters Before the Wedding, ibang-iba yung character niya doon. So you can see may range talaga siya. She's she's a diamond in the rough kumbaga. And she's one of the best discoveries of she's probably the best discovery acting wise of 2020. Says your thoughts on Charlie's performance of Fangirl.
Ayun, I agree. A lot of performances stood out, pero sa kanya talagang pinaka-memorable. I think I've said this before, dun sa MMFF episode natin na, ayun, ako, may mga nakukornihan sa kanya nung una nila siyang napanood sa Seven Sundays. Pero ako talagang, for me, maliit lang yung role niya doon, pero she kind of pulled it off. Kasi apart from Liza Soberano, of course, na itatabi kay Enrique Hill, sila sa kanila yung medyo nag-click for me. So I think her getting this break is really, really, really a blessing in disguise for this girl. And I hope that she chooses more better roles in the future.
Yan.
Similar as this then. So yun. Kasi, being a performer, being an actress here in the Philippines, marami kang pagdadaanan And
Yes.
it's evident to her na she has had that experience na as a fangirl, as somebody who wants to succeed. So she's maybe she has that discipline, she has that strength to bring more roles na kapukaw-pukaw sa
Ah.
pansin ng lahat. Yes.
Siguro parang kunyari in the future, paano kunyari gawin siyang love team? Parang ironic no?
Oo. Diba? Parang,
Sana hindi.
bakit? Sana, feeling ko hindi na. Kasi, hindi na siguro siya tatanggap ng ganun.
Cast her in more roles. Tingnan mo nga yung nalungkot ako, hindi naman nalungkot, pero tingnan mo si Barbie Fortesa, she was amazing in films like
Marikina.
Oops, Marikina, di ba? That was her year.
Mm-mm.
Pero
she settled kasi
she settled. Sila na ni Jack Roberto.
Oh.
Sabay
Thank you,
gano'n.
Jimmy. Pero,
Thank you, GMA.
ba, may na-hurt.
Hindi naman.
May na-hurt, nakapuso.
Wala naman si Manny. Pagdating si Manuel Pangaroy, basag na naman ako
Charot.
May na-hurt talagang kapuso. Charot.
Naman.
Pero oo nga. Pero feeling ko hindi naman. Parang, di ba, while she was shooting Fangirl, she was also shooting yung astrology thriller sa for I Want.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So, yun.
So, more
which is-
power again. Power in the
Mm-mm.
future. Yeah.
Sana she would follow the footsteps of Bella kasi si Bella din, she has her way of choosing her roles din. Na although akala mo broken, pero if you look at her roles, aral niya yung mga roles niya na it's not just a broken person pero it has to be this character with depth, mga ganun.
Yeah,
Yan.
I agree.
Yan.
And we, of course, and now, as we say goodbye forever to 2020, may it never come back again. Here's hoping to a better 2021. Sana mabakunahan tayong lahat. Yan. And,
Yes. Oo. Sana
Yun ang
maayos
wish
yung
ko.
bakuna.
Sana maayos yung bakuna. Binakunahan pero parang made in
Oo.
in a
Diba?
country na... Ayoko
Where the
sabihin baka
virus-
mawalan tayo ng viewers
Yes.
Where the virus originated. Wala.
Oh my God. Diba?
Oo,
Mano
diba?
tayo niyan,
Correct.
Pero anyway,
DJ, may tanong ka pala. May tanong ka ba,
you have
DJ, about
questions
sa
about
best performance?
what we talked about so far?
Well, napanood ko yung Fangirl.
Ay, ayun. Ayun pala siya.
Ano tingin mo sa Fangirl, DJ? Your thoughts about Fangirl?
About Fangirl.
Go.
Sa mga pelikula ni Hadaone, parang konti lang napanood ko, pero ang impression ko is parang ito yung pinaka-focus sa lahat ng mga nagawa niya so far. Parang with a purpose talaga yung paggawa niya nito eh. Mostly in line dun sa sinabi ni Ogs Cruz sa rapper review niya na distilled pa rin yung quote-unquote essence ni Hadaone na merong nagkukwentuhan lang sa buong pelikula. Yung gano'n na parang nagkataon lang na chance encounter. Pero at the same time, may pinatutunguhan eh. May pinaglalaban yung pelikula na. Kaya very purposeful and skilled and not skilled, pero yun, parang precise yung pagkakagawa sa pelikula.
Interesting na parang she used the tropes of her own movies to
Mhm.
parang as a subversion kumbaga. Kasi this is not like her other romantic films na, 'di ba, meet cute and then may confessional scene na medyo prangka tas yun na, naging sila na. But
Pero
here,
may
no
ganun pa
eh.
rin eh, no?
May ganun pa
And-
rin, pero yung
oh.
kinalabasan niya is very different eh.
Pero I guess that adds dun sa yung naging effect niya. Parang siguro yung pelikula siguro it works best kung familiar ka na siya daw nito, so ganito siguro yung mangyayari.
Yeah.
Parang it adds dun sa tension na ano kaya yung kalalabasan.
Ayun. Tama. So, ayun. So, for this favorite film of 2020, two of us voted this as first place and one of us voted this for this film, the third place. And this is Alex Arumpak's Aswang. So, documentary film. We've talked about this. Di ba may episode tayo na Aswang? Yeah, we talked
Yes,
about
last
Yes.
July.
We talked
Last
about this
July.
film
Actually,
in depth.
it's one of our most listened to episodes of
Yeah,
2020.
very nice. Thank you, Aswang Twitter,
Yes.
for sharing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Ganon.
Yes.
Ayun. I really have nothing else to say about this film except, yeah, it's a very timely film. It's a very important film. Please go watch it if you have the chance. I'm not saying you pirate it. Please don't pirate the film, but you know, whatever, do what you want. Do you have since we've talked about this a lot, Cess and Jim, do you have any like very very short thoughts about Aswang before we end this episode?
Ako, with the documentaries that I've watched before, no, ang standout kasi for Aswang ay cinematic yung treatment niya. Hindi siya yung the usual na documentary na susundan lang yung case study, ganun, or juxtaposition. Dito cinematic siya. Tapos, ang maganda dun sa ginawa kasi sa Aswang was that yung, which is nabanggit ko na rin naman before, yung Aswang kasi dito ay, it's not the literal monster na mythology or yung aswang dito sa Pilipinas, but yung aswang na yun yung mga sadly authorities na sana pinoprotektahan tayo. However, sila pa ang na. Baka maano tayo.
You know na.
You
Now
know
you
na.
know.
Now you know while watching it. Ayun.
Yun. Cess, any final words regarding Aswang before we wrap this up?
What a very compelling piece on the EJK issue. Issue ba? Yun. I vote. Ang dami rin ang hirap in fairness mamili ng best documentary of 2020. Pero this one stood out because I agree with Jim. It was told in a very cinematic manner. One that, kahit hindi ka mahilig sa documentaries, you would have your eyes glued on the screen. So, I hope na, yun nga, kung may gagawin pang documentary si Miss Arumpak, it's not about someone who died because of the same issues. Sana, one of the things that made this film great was because it gives you that awareness na parang kung fanatic ka, magkakaroon ka ng, pag napanood mo to, magiging in denial ka, magkakaroon ka ng question sa utak mo if everything is real or not. So, ayun. Yun lang.
Yun. No? There was another film in 2019 that came out that was also about mythologies and something else, parang tying mythologies to something, pero it's far inferior compared to Aswang, and that film is Secret, Luzon, Visayas, and yun. So yun,
parang parang dyan yung totoo. 2020 ba yun? 2019?
2019 film. It ganun din kasi 'di ba, it also talks about mythologies pero it's a very it turned out to be a very mediocre film, well acted, but about I don't know, it's a very melodramatic thing na I don't know
Very
why.
insulting.
Ayoko nga pala. Parang naalala ko na tuloy. Okay, sige. Yan.
May patama.
Ayan na tuloy.
ano?
Okay.
Pero yun, watch Aswang instead is a better film.
Yes, watch
Yes.
Aswang instead.
And yeah, that ends our very short episode about the things we liked about 2020. What else can we say? Kasi favorite sinehan, wala. Kasi sarado silang lahat. Favorite film festival. Well, ang favorite film festival ng karamihan was
Yung cinema pa din.
Q Cinema. Some voted PPP sa SFFR. At least one of us voted Lockdown Cinema Club. Yeah, that was a very nice.
Oo,
not-
yeah.
I guess it's technically a festival. It consists of a lot of old films, pero it consists of a lot of parang rarely before seen short films, which is a treat.
Yes.
And of course, the Ang Docu, very
Ako ang docu yung number 1 ko eh.
same.
Ako din. Nakalimutan ko nga si Q Cinema eh.
The power of
The Ang
Philippine
Docu ako.
documentaries talaga. A very, very well curated, very alam mo yon, it's not just 1 week, parang 5 weeks yata sila or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
tagal.
forgiving sa schedule natin. Pwede mo siyang
Yeah.
panoorin one film a day.
Yeah.
Ganon.
And it's all free. Hindi ka
Yes.
hindi kagaya ng iba dyan. Well, alam mo naman, well, yun nga naman, film is a business, hindi kailangan mo kumita. So, understandable naman. Pero, sana maganda I hope we don't have to wait another 100 years for another Daang Docu.
Tama. Baka ano na siya, parang ang sequel, parang yung 100 pula para kay Stella, o di ba may sequel. Yun na, 200 docu na charot.
100 at 1 docu. Gana.
Pero maganda rin yung Daang Docu. Like, on your road to watching documentaries din. Yun din yung ano niya.
And ayun nga, Urian chose Aswang 2 as their favorite film, as their top film this year. And I can see why kasi yeah.
Famas ang nag
Famas pala,
best
Famas.
picture.
Sorry.
Kasi Urian is
Babae at Baril. Yeah. So yun. And DJ, any thoughts about the year so far or what you saw or Aswang or whatever you want?
No comment po. Pass on. I'm not qualified.
Pero yun, we hope to see more of each other.
Yeah.
Actually,
Sana-
alam nyo, na-realize ko lang, yung episode that we recorded just before tumama yung quarantine was tayong 4. Diba? Yung
Yes, tayo lang
Oscars.
talaga. Yes.
So, we began,
Oo nga.
we ended where we began, kumbaga,
Oo nga, no.
talking together about films. Hopefully,
Ay, oo nga. Last year.
diba? Hopefully in the future, ganun din.
Correct.
I hope to see you guys in person again.
Yes.
One
Yeah.
day.
Yes.
Yung best of 2021 in person na ulit.
Yeah, oo nga.
Sana nga.
Tapos dapat
Hopefully this
sabay-sabay
year,
nating
pero-
gupitin yung face mask. Ganun.
Liberate yourselves.
Wala
Tinapon,
nang
tapos
face. Tedo na
pinagalitan
pala
tayo
eh,
ng
no?
guard.
Oo.
Ba't kayo
Suot niyo po, ma'am.
naglilitering?
Suot niyo po. With face shield po. Ganun.
Ayun. So,
Ayun.
hopefully in the future. Maybe not this year, maybe this year. Pero soon.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, this pandemic has divided us in ways that na hindi natin maisip before, no? And ironically at the same time, it's helped us gain access to films from around the world. Pero as the world parang returns to normal, syempre yung mga iba dyan, now that the vaccine's out, nagpapa-inoculate na yan, yung karamihan, like countries like us na hindi pa rin vaccinated, we're gonna fall behind, unfortunately. And it's a waiting game lang talaga until we get better. Hopefully, we all survive this in the end. And yun lang, no? Stay safe, everyone. We have a lot of interesting episodes in the future for you guys.
Yes.
Yun.
And
In the
please
meantime,
follow
guys.
us on
please follow
our
us on our
social media pages.
social media pages. Yan, Film Police
Yes.
Reviews.
Third World Cinema Club, third WCC on Twitter. Yes.
We also have Facebook
Ah,
pages and stuff.
yes.
Ako, I'll be typing. I'll be writing still articles on Present Confusion sometimes.
Yes.
Not
Ako may bago
necessarily.
akong New Year's resolution to watch all the Filipino films this year.
Wow, ikaw na
Write
papalit
about
sa akin.
opo.
Wow.
Write about them on Film Police Reviews. So,
Yes.
still read our articles on Film Police Reviews din. So, kina-cross-publish ko po yung mga articles po nila. So,
Yeah.
yun.
Other than that, ongoing yung YouTube series ko about Filipino films on my channel, John Tawasil. No, the latest video was about Kung Paano Siya Nawala by Joel Ruiz. And I still have like 4 or 5 more on the pipeline. So watch out for those.
Watch
Yun.
out!
The next episode of that series is a collaboration between myself and DJ.
Wow!
So it's a very, secret na lang kung
Dapat
ano.
siya dito. He graced his presence with us. Siri, search.
So, yun yung, malamang mahaba tong susunod na video ko about that. So, watch out for that. It will come out siguro next week or next week.
Yay!
Ayun.
Yay! Ayun lang po.
And yun, until the next episode, guys. Wow, parang tayo nagpapaalam talaga. Hindi, magkikita pa rin naman tayo.
Hindi.
Ano ba?
Yeah.
Abangan
Abangan nyo ang paglabas ng episode na to.
Abangan ang susunod na kabanata.
Yes.
Ayun.
Dito si
We'll be talking
VJ,
about
guys.
films.
Makinig kayo.
Yes, isa lang yan.
Ayun lang.
We'll have more interesting guests on the way. Yan.
Yeah.
Yan. Hashtag TG Trinidad on Third World Cinema Club. Random Very random no?
Wala, Quezon, no? Di ba siya si Quezon?
Sa Quezon. Ay, kunin natin
Ipaparamdam
si Gerald.
na.
Si Direk Gerald. Charot lang. Pero anyway, yun. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye. Stay safe. Take care.